Let us discuss the first assignment. See, the first assignment is write an x86 64-bit LP assembly language programming to accept 5 64-bit hexadecimal numbers from user, store them in an array and display the accepted numbers. That means in this particular program, we have to accept the numbers and numbers must be 64-bit. We have to accept 5 numbers from the user or from the keyboard, and we have to store them in an array and display the accepted numbers on the screen. That means both the operations we have to perform in this particular practical: accept, that is reading, and displaying the numbers on the screen. So we have to declare first array to store the numbers, we have to accept the numbers, and we have to display the numbers. These are the 3 steps in the algorithm. So just see section under section dot data, see, we are accepting the numbers from the keyboard, so we don't have the initialized variables that are to be declared under section dot data. We are accepting it and then we are storing. So this is we have to declare this particular array under section dot bss. So array, we are declaring reserved double word. You can even declare reserved bytes also, RESB also, 200. So 200 double words are reserved for this particular array, and we are also declaring one counter reserve byte 1. So we are declaring one byte, reserving one byte for the counter. Now why counter is needed, that we will see. Section dot text global underscore start and underscore start colon. So in this case, see, first we have to accept the 5 numbers. So we require the counter with the value of 5, because we are accepting first number, then we are displaying that particular number. We are accepting the second number, or we can also do it like this. We accept the first number, we store it in the array, again accept the second number, store it in the array. Likewise, we accept the 5 numbers. That means we write the loop for accepting the numbers and storing it in the array. That is one loop, and once we store the number, store 5 numbers in the array, we will display these 5 numbers one by one on the screen. Right. So for this purpose, see, move, we have to first how many numbers we are accepting from the keyboard? 5 numbers. So we write move byte into bracket counter comma 05. Since it is a byte type variable, we have to declare it as a byte. Suppose it is a word type variable, then we have to declare it as a word. Right. That's why we have declared this particular variable counter in section dot bss, that is move byte into bracket counter comma 5. Now we have to accept the numbers from the keyboard, so we are using the read system call. So for read system call, we are writing, we have already seen read system call in the previous lecture. So move rax comma 0, move rdi comma 0, rax comma 0. This is a function number for the read system call. Now we are storing whatever the number we are accepting from the keyboard, we are storing in the array. So we are writing the variable name, that is move rsi comma array and move rdx comma 17. Now why we are writing 17? This is because the size of this particular array. So suppose we are accepting the 64-bit number. So 64-bit number means the number is like 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1, like there are 64 bits. Now 64 bits means 4 bit is equivalent to 1 digit. So 64 bit is equivalent to 16 digits. That means we are entering the value like 1 5 6 3 like this we are entering 16 digits from the keyboard. How we are entering the 64-bit number from the keyboard? We are entering the 16 digits from the keyboard, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Likewise there are 16 digits, that is your first number. Then we are entering the enter button, and after entering the enter button we are entering the second number, that also consists of the 16 digits. Likewise we are entering the 516 digits from the keyboard. So 16 digits. Now see, whenever the you are entering any number, any digit from the keyboard, that means whenever if you are entering 1 from the keyboard, this 1 is stored inside as a ASCII value. So 1, the ASCII value of 1 is 31H. So how this one is stored in the array? This one is stored in the array as 31H. That means for every digit you require a single byte to store in the array. So for 16 digits we require 16 bytes for storing in the array. That means suppose I have entered the number as 1 2 3 4 and etc. Then for 1 how this one is stored inside the memory? This is stored as this ASCII value, that is 31H. 2 is stored as its ASCII value, 32H. That means for 16 digits we require 16 bytes, right? And after that we enter the enter button. So for enter button, its ASCII value is also stored in the particular array. So total for one number, 164-bit number, it requires 16 digits for the number and one for the enter button, right? That's why what is the size of we can say what is the size of one number that is stored in the memory? It is 17 bytes. That's why here it is written as move rdx, 17 syscall. So the first number is stored as 17 bytes, and we have to store the second number after these 17 bytes, right? That means see, whenever you are writing move rsi, array, your rsi is what is rsi? RSI is a source index register which is 64-bit, and this RSI is pointing to the starting point of the array. So wherever it is pointing, your number gets starts storing from that particular location. So first number gets stored. Now second number should be stored after 17th location. So you have to add RSI, 17. That means your pointer will increment by 17 and it will point to the 17th location. Now you have to store the second number. So already we have stored one number. For that purpose, what we will do, we will decrement this particular counter. So 5 will be decremented by 1, so it will become 4. In the counter, what is remaining? In the counter, the 4 is remaining. Now we will check whether this particular counter is 0, because we have to carry out this particular procedure for 5 times, or whatever the value we have loaded in the counter, that many times we have to continue this particular process. So how we can check this? We can check this with the help of the instruction JNZ. With the help of the instruction JNZ, that is jump if no 0. That means if the counter is not 0, it will jump to whatever the label that is written after this. That means LOOP is the label. You can write any label. I can write L1. I can write anything I can write. And JNZ L1, suppose I write, or loop is written over here. So if the counter is not 0, then it will jump to the instruction where this particular label is written. So this particular label is written loop move rax, 0. So it will go to move rax, 0, move rdi, 0. That means again we are using a read system call, and move rsi. Now RSI has been incremented by 17th location, so it will point to some another location, right? And move rdx, 17. Again for the second number we require 17 bytes including enter, and syscall. So whatever the number you enter, the second number you enter, that will be stored in the in this particular position, that is after 17 bytes, right? So your second number gets accepted. Now you have to store the third number. So your pointer must be incremented by 17 so that it will point to the location where the third number is stored. Decrement byte counter. So now the initially the counter is 5, it will be decremented, so it will become 4. Then again it will be decremented, so it becomes 3. If it is not 0, again it will go to the loop, it will accept the third number, and likewise this particular loop will get continued until your counter becomes 0. And once the counter is 0, then that is 0 flag will be set. Counter is 0 means your 0 flag will be set. So JNZ instruction, what JNZ instruction is doing? JNZ instruction is checking the 0 flag. If the 0 flag is not set, it will jump to the label that is written. But if the 0 flag is set, if it is not 0, then it will jump. If it is 0, then it will go to the next instruction. So once this particular procedure has been completed for 5 times, now what we have to do, that means what we have done up till now, we have accepted the 5 numbers from the user and we have stored in the array. Now we have to display this particular 5 numbers. So whenever the numbers are storing it, these numbers are storing in the form of ASCII value. Move byte into bracket counter comma 5. Again we have to load the 5 into the counter because of the first loop your counter becomes 0. Now you have already your number, all 5 numbers has been stored in the array. So move RSI comma array. So we point to this particular location, that is move RSI comma array. Now we have to display the first number. So we will use the write system call move RAX comma 1, move RDI comma 1. So these are the two first statements of the write system call. Now what you have to display? You have to display the array. You have to display the array. That means you have to display the first 17 digits of the array, that is 16 digits for the number and 1 digit for the enter. So what is written in RDX? Move RDX comma 17, because 17 bytes is the size of your one number along with the enter, right? So move RSI comma array, that is variable name which you have to display, and its length that is 17, which we have loaded in RDX, and syscall. So what this will do, this will display your first number on the screen. Now once you display the first number on the screen, enter is also displayed. That means your cursor will go to the next line. Now you have to display the second number. So your RSI must be incremented by 17. So you have to add RSI comma 17. So it will your RSI will point to the second number. We will decrement the counter by 1. So counter will now become 4. Counter will now become 4. Just a minute. Counter will now become 4. If it is not 0, again we have to display the second number. So second number will get displayed. Pointer will be incremented by 17. So pointer will point to the third number. Counter will be decremented by 1. So counter will become 3. It is not 0, so it will go to the loop 1. So this will continue. This will be continued for the 5 times. For the 5 times it will go into the loop, and once the 5 numbers has been displayed on the screen, what you have to do, you have to use the exit system call. That means after JNZ, once all 5 numbers has been displayed, you have to exit from the program. So after JNZ you have to write the exit system call, and for exit system call we have already seen the exit system call, that is move RAX comma 60, move RDI, 1 or 0, and you write syscall. So these three statements you have to write after this, and this will end your program. So this particular program will accept the 564-bit numbers and store it in the array, and then we have displayed this array one by one. That means one number at a time we have displayed this particular array. I hope everybody has understood this particular program. That is the first program of this microprocessor lab.